What is up, everybody? So, just going to do some eternal drafting here. That is the main plan. I think I can squeeze in a draft real quick in the time that I have available. So, yeah, eternal draft. Alrighty, let's get into it here. Definitely digging Eternal still. It's very similar to Magic in that it really just is Magic, just with a easier to deal with client. So yeah, I'm having fun with this still. I've got 2 quests today. I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish both of them on stream, but win 5 games in Draft or Forge and win 5 games in Casual or Ranked. So we're going to try to do those in Draft and Ranked games, of course. But let's hit up the Draft aspect first. Spend some of these sweet coins. All right, Sleepless Night. What does this do? Discard your hand and draw 4 cards with Revenge. Interesting. So late game, the idea is if you don't have 4 cards to discard, it is just a draw 4. Talon Dive is a mediocre pump spell. Stone Powder Alchemist can clear off weapons, and it is still a 2/2 lifesteal, but not particularly impressive. Snapping Brushstalker, which I have yet to figure out if that is a positive ability or a drawback on him. But either way, he can't die to removal spells. And then we have a loot here. We've got a small weapon in the Talon. Forge weapon seems bad. What does Zenon Augury do? Draw one of the top 3 cards of your deck and gain 3 for 4 mana. No thank you. 2/2 Revenge that pumps something, and the wielder gains flying. That's an okay card too. I'm going to go with Brushstalker. I mean, fans of this stream will know that I love drafting time cards. So, time and time again, as Chance might say, let's just keep that going. Strangers have Overwhelm, your spell power +2. What is Talir's choice? 2 damage to the enemy player, your units get +2 attack, or gain 2 life and make 2 tokens. And it's a spell. It's not a fast spell either. Envelop, not particularly exciting. I think Extract is probably the most powerful card. It is a Lightning Helix plus a Scry one for 1 more mana. It is not a fast spell, though. It's a slow spell. But I still think Extract might just be the most powerful card here. And we might wind up moving into Shadow and ignoring our single-time cards. Snapping Brushstalker isn't necessarily that powerful that we need to play it, though if we want to play... what is this color combination again? Is this Zenon? Yes, it is. This is Zenon. So if we want to play Zenon, then maybe we can play both of our cards. I like Avrax Familiar as well. This is silence an enemy unit and bounce it, or silence a unit in their hand, they discard it. Both of those are pretty reasonable. If you can bounce something and then silence it, a lot of times a silence is all that you need, but a bounce is like pretty good tempo on top of that. I do really like Spell Shield Architect, but we're in the 2 colors that is not. Cabal Rogue, I think, is good. Or reasonable, I'll say. But what I'll also say is that I already really liked Avarax Familiar, and they made it better. They made it a 1-2 flyer instead of a 1-1 flyer. I already liked this card. So I think I'm going to go with Avarax Familiar. It's flying, it's warp, it's +1 power. There's a lot of things that this card has going for it. So I'm going to pick up the Familiar and see how that works out. We could take a Banner or a Stranger, both for mana fixing. Though we also have Humbug Swarm, which might not be that bad. 3 1/1s with flying is definitely not that impressive. There's a lot of things that like stop that though too. Like if your opponent even has one Avarax Familiar, pretty much blanks your entire Humbug Swarm. And Avarax Familiar is not even the most common effect that you can have just for a flying blocker. Now, if we're able to dispose of all of their flyers, then sure, we can have a Brush Stalker on the ground and then just win with these little buggers in the air. Maybe we still want Praxis Banner, though, to go for that Mardu strat. And then also just a Praxis Stranger. I have enjoyed playing Strangers over Banners, because I'll play this Stranger regardless, and I won't play this Banner if I'm not playing Fire. So I'm going to go for the Praxis Stranger here. Warp, 4 mana 2/2, gain 3 life. It's not horrible, but I think I like Journeyman Armorer. It's 1 mana cheaper. It is another color, but I think the effect of a +1/+1 is probably better than gain 3 life, especially if we don't have Life Force and do wind up playing red. So hopefully we can make that work. Archaeologist is a little bit expensive. I've been drafting him and cutting him from all of my deck. I own enough Huru Banners. Jawbone Hatchet is a 3 mana 3/3 weapon. Could be good if you get your Spark on. That sounds reasonable, and I think it's a better Spark than Audacious Bandit. The thing is, Audacious Bandit is better if you don't get your Spark, but that's not terribly exciting either. So we'll take a 3/3 weapon. It does have double red in the cost, which is a little bit problematic, but hopefully we can still make use of that. A 5/3 weapon, that is a pretty big weapon. Bludgeoner, not super exciting. Actually tempted to just take Clan Hero here, and then maybe we will move into like Jeskai. It's really the only good card. I guess Trial Runner's an okay blocker at the start of the game, but I don't think we're going to be needing this type of effect. I'd rather just take Clan Hero on the off chance that we do wind up going into those colors. This is an interesting Stranger. Savage variety. At the end of your turn, Strangers get +1 attack. So that's going to include himself, so he is a 4/3 regardless. I think he's enough better than any of the other cards. Argenport Stranger's not horrible, but yeah, let's see maybe some Stranger action happens here. I will take Cabal Rogue as well here. I really don't like Piercing Grief. I'm going to take it because I don't want to play any of these cards. But yeah, definitely not too excited to play. Sorry, there was a bug that I was just able to catch with a water bottle real quick. Zenin Stranger seems good, though. It puts us 1 Praxis, 1 Zenin Stranger, so if we can pick up some, whatever those other kind of Strangers are, then we can have a decent Mardu deck here. Unlock Potential's interesting. Awakened Student, you know, is a favorite of mine. Oblivion Spike sometimes winds up being a little bit unimpressive, but I'm still going to take it because you don't get to play with a card like this that often, so it just winds up being a little bit neater and adds a different kind of angle for your deck to shoot for. So let's take Oblivion Spike. Ooh, okay. Permafrost is really good. Stonescar, that's the last stranger. Stonescar Stranger. Rapid Shot's good. Acolyte's good. Zenin Guardian's good. Permafrost is good. All of these cards are really good. Even Direfang Spider. Kind of want to make a choice in terms of what colors to play here. If you look, I'm not really even that committed to time. I am most committed to Shadow. So I should probably pick up Give me 1 second. That's what happened. Alright. My power cord was falling there, and I'm always just... makes me nervous, but I moved my chair, so my power cord... Anyways, you guys don't care about that. Rapid Shot, decent removal spell, almost impossible to play around. Amethyst Acolyte, good value. Direfang Spider, solid at all parts of the game. Zenin Guardian, also solid at all parts in the game. I think Rapid Shot is probably the best. Rapid Shot does ask you to be a little bit more aggressive, but it can also get some damage push in the late game too. So that's pretty sweet. And I think we're going to want to focus on Shadow just because that is clearly what we have the most of so far. But there's a lot of different directions that we can take this deck still. I think Rapid Shot is just going to be the most powerful card. I don't know, there's a lot of good... I mean, Permafrost is definitely the most powerful card here. But Rapid Shot, I don't think I'm ever going to be disappointed to have in my deck. Unless, of course, we just see a whole bunch more Rapid Shots, then that'll get a little bit awkward. Smuggler's Stash can be backbreaking in draft, though. And I think I am going to take it here and try to move into a Stonescar control-y deck. Sure, we'll see how this kind of shakes out. Annihilate and Execute, both options, neither of which hit Karmic Guardian. Also Obsidian Golem, pretty good. I think you just go for Annihilate because it's cheaper and a fast spell, but Execute definitely kills some things that Annihilate does not. Annihilate does kill some things that the other does not, but I digress. Dark Return, not horrible. Teriach Hatchling, if we decide to go those colors. Wyvark if we go blue. Or I could just pick up a middle-of-the-road 3/3 Thorn Beast. Tempted to pick up Thorn Beast. It is typically pretty okay in Stonescar as well, as long as we can pick up a little bit more Stonescar interaction to go along with it. Right now, the only thing I know, though, is that I'm in Shadow. I don't think I'm willing to lock in any of my other colors just yet, but I'll take the Thorn Beast just because we know we're going to play it. Here, I do think Obsidian Golem is enough better than the Back Alley Bouncer. We only have one other red card and one other time card. I'm probably not going to play Burning Glaive. Yes, I can return it with Smuggler's Stash. It's still not that impressive. But I think Obsidian Golem is enough better than Back Alley Bouncer. And I am going to want to pick another color eventually here. So Obsidian Golem is good. Though just as I say that, we see a Twilight Raptor. And Twilight Raptor would also make a decent direction to go in. That, or I can take a 3-mana 3/3 in Rebel Sharpshooter. That is going to encourage me to pick up a few more weapons as well, which would be kind of sweet. Put like a Morning Star or whatever that card's called on Rebel Sharpshooter. I think there's a chance I wind up in Grixis here as well still. But let's take Rebel Sharpshooter. Then I guess I'll take a Rampage. I'm not super excited about Venom Fang Dagger. Obviously there's the combos if we do wind up Grixis. But one Rampage in your deck is fine. Scheme I think is too slow. I think I'm actually just going to take Backlash here in case we wind up in Primal and for a lack of playables. Alright, this card's bad. But I guess we'll take it twice. Let's cut some cards here. So we have a clan hero that we might be looking to play alongside this Backlash. Don't really want to play Piercing Grief either. What do we have here? A double time Plated Goliath. Okay, a Zenin Stranger. None of these are super exciting. The enemy player cannot gain life. Spark double damage. That's also really not that exciting. I think I'm going to grab Zenin Stranger here. We do have the Savage Stranger. And maybe this will let us splash some things. Or we could just take Mortar. Mortar would not be bad either, because Mortar would then put us towards Clan Hero and Backlash, though I don't really want to play Backlash. Mortar might still just be the best card, though. This is a pretty powerful card. 4 mana, 4 damage, fast. Alright, let's take Mortar, actually. Strangers have Aegis. You may sacrifice another unit to draw 2 cards. That's the first time I'm seeing this, but I like that a decent amount. What else is there? There's a Warp Guy, a Forge Wolf, a Clan Hero. Now, I'm going to be taking Direwood Prowler here as some late game action. Just looking at the other options in this pack. This is definitely the best card. We do still need some synergies to work with it, but hopefully we can get there. I'm not sure. Cripple is a mediocre spell. Vara's Choice, another mediocre spell. Clan Hero as a mediocre 3 mana 3/3. What was the other blue card we picked up? Oh, Mortar. Right. Yeah, none of these cards are that exciting. I think I'm going to pick up an Argenport Stranger. Just a 2-drop to help fill out the curve, and it'll let us play a little bit shakier mana as well. Start of your turn, reduce the cost of non-unit cards in your hand by 1. And then +3 attack and flying while you're hellbent. Well, that's pretty cool. So we're looking at a late game, it becomes a 5/2 flyer. I can dig that. Noble Firemane is also pretty sweet. Yeah, this deck's kind of going in a lot of directions. Noble Firemane doesn't really look great with the stuff that we already have, is part of the problem. I think I'm going to take a Library Phoenix. Yeah. Okay. We'll take it. We'll see if we wind up having enough in us to play it, though, as well. Archive Curator is cool. Five mana 4/4 that only really works on offense. Yeah, these cards are definitely not that exciting. I think I'm going to take the Heretic just to ensure we have enough playables in Stonescar. Alright, Reforge has been pretty good for me. Though we don't have that many good options for it. I still found the card to be decently impressive. Not sure if we need it alongside Smuggler's Stash is part of my issue here, but I am going to take Reforge. I think it's a powerful enough card. And I'm going to take Praxis Stranger. At that point, I think we can pretty freely splash time, even though we don't really have any good time cards worthy of a splash. These are all really bad. Alright, I'll take another clan hero. Oh, this card's fine. We're probably not going to play it, but it's actually a fine card. And a 1-mana 2/2, or 1-mana 2/1 rather, or give one of your units unblockable. This will actually play. I mean, it's just an early game creature, just to kind of clog the field up there. Deathstrike and Pyro Knight are both really good, so that is a welcome sight here. I think I am going to take Pyro Knight. I think I'd rather just have a slightly better proactive card here. Not that we have that much in the way of removal currently, but Pyro Knight's just a really solid card. Alright, Warband Chieftain is great late game. There's a Heavy Axe and a Furnace Mage as well. Furnace Mage is also really, really strong. That's a really tough pick, but I think I'm going to go with Warband Chieftain. It's got some synergy with Stone Powder Heretic. I don't think that's exactly what we're going for, but oh, it would be great with Cabal Rogue, though. That would be sweet. All right. Yeah, I just feel like there's a little bit more synergy maybe with Warband Chieftain. We can splash this Journeyman Armorer for free. Probably cut Backlash in both of our clan heroes. The question is, do we still play Mortar or not? We probably can't unless we pick up some fixing fast in the next 10 cards. But let's grab Warband Chieftain. Alright, here's some fixing for Backlash. Or here's an Amethyst or Granite Acolyte. Probably cut Rampage, though we could also keep it in here. Like I said, I think the Journeyman Armor is going to be a relatively free splash. It's good with Rebel Sharpshooter. Library Phoenix is interesting. It does make our late game weapons cheaper, which is cool. I think I am going to take Feln Banner and try to splash Mortar. Is that crazy? So here's the thing. If we take Feln Banner and we take like another Feln or... No, it really just has to be Feln Banner. Then we open ourselves up to Mortar as an additional playable. Conversely, we could just cut Mortar and take Amethyst Acolyte, and then we have Amethyst Acolyte as an additional playable. So I think that sounds a little bit more reasonable. Let's take Acolyte, let's cut Mortar, unless the fixing just is there, but we're not going to force that at all. Stonescar Magus is another sweet one, and I think it's just the best card in this pack. Not super close. Zen Destroyer, I don't know if I love. The Reckless is really awkward. It does help in terms of just rapid shot, like bluffing that. And you could put like a Journeyman Armorer on it or something. I guess I'm going to take it here, right? Because there's no other cards. But you're probably not looking to play that. I think I'd rather even just play Rebel Sharpshooter. The Lifesteal is good, but the fact that it has to attack is a pretty awkward drawback. That said, I think I might just take Back Alley Bouncer here, as the deck might be looking just to put another 4-drop on curve rather than a 3-drop. So I'll pick that up. Another Smuggler Stash it's giving me, and another 4-drop. I don't think you want too many Smuggler Stashes, and the fact that we already have a Reforge as well means that we can also kind of get away from that. I'm going to take a Recalculator. It's good to put stuff with your tokens and be able to just, like Warband Chieftain and Direwood Prowler. It's good to have some token generation for us. That's what I was looking for. While in my head thinking about this Flame Blast, I think it's probably still good, especially when we play some red strangers too. Yeah, I think I'm past the point where I'm going to play Felon Banner. So let's take this. Ooh, I do like Bladekin Apprentice. It's really good if you can throw a weapon on it, but it's still otherwise really good early game. But yeah, if you can put like Obsidian Golem stuff on it, it's still good. I'll take Stonescar Banner here for sure. And then I get a choice of Blood Beetle or Grenadin Drone. That's funny. This definitely turned around at the end here for us. Grenadin Drone adds 2 to Oblivion Spike and is synergistic with Direwood Prowler. Blood Beetle, if you just get this card on turn 1 though, it is a really, really solid flyer. I think I'm going to take Grenadin Drone though. I think it's just a little bit safer. And we'll see where the rest of this can go. Another Stonescar Banner to round the deck out. So the first thing I like to do is just go through my picks and see if I've already cut anything that I might want to put back in. So maybe I play Burning Glaive. Not going to play Piercing Grief. Not going to play Pilfer. Alright, looks like I didn't cut too much. Sure, I'll put the Stranger back in just to look at for numbers. Okay. And then what do we got here? We have 2 banners and 35 cards. So we probably want to cut another 5 or so cards. Sounds reasonable. Do we want to just get this Journeyman Armorer out of here? Well, I'm not going to play any time mana. So with 3 strangers that can turn it on, is that any good? That's the question. It helps the Rebel Sharpshooter, and I do like that. I don't think we have any other ways to turn on Rebel Sharpshooter other than Rampage. And I think I'm going to cut Zen Destroyer. Like I said, Journeyman Armorer does make our 3s a little bit loose. Probably want to look at our 4 drops now. We have what is essentially a Back Alley Bouncer with an interesting ability on it. I think I am going to keep Savage Stranger here, though. I could this guy. 5 mana 4/4? Yeah. Super unimpressive. Super unimpressive. So Burning Glaive works with Pyro Knight, Cabal Rogue. That's pretty much it. I guess it works with Rebel Sharpshooter too, but I would much rather just play 17 lands here. So I think this is what we're going to go with. We do still have some late game with Flame Blast, Cabal Rogue, Oblivion Spike potentially, and Reforge, and Smuggler's Stash. Don't forget about Smuggler's Stash. I think Smuggler's Stash got increased by a mana as well. But it's 6 mana. Still pretty good. Let's add some sigils into the mix. I'm just thinking. So we have the triple red on Flame Blast. I guess we should be playing red strangers instead of black ones. We can even play a Stranger instead of Bladekin Apprentice, but I don't love that. Just want to make sure our mana's right, because we could cut a red Stranger for a black Stranger. I think I like this, though. This pretty much gives us an even split on... Well, what do we need more early? I think we want Fire Sigils early for Bladekin Apprentice. And the double black stuff mostly comes in later. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut one Praxis Stranger, add one Fire Sigil, cut one Shadow Sigil, and add in one Argenport Stranger. I don't think I want to play more than 3 Strangers, but this allows us to potentially... turn 2 Bladekin Apprentice slightly more often. This way we don't have to play the Stranger just to turn on the Bladekin Apprentice. We can go turn 2 Bladekin, then turn 3 Argenport to turn on our black mana here. Okay. Let's give it a shot. Alrighty, we've got 3 mana, and we've got good mana. We've got one really expensive card. But Stonescar Magus is really good. Jawbone Hatchet's not going to be doing much here. I'm still going to keep this hand. We do have a lot of 2-drops. We don't have that many 3-drops in the deck. But we also have a solid mana base here with this hand. So, as long as we draw one more land in 5 turns, we're probably not just going to get run over. Famous last words, of course. Might grab some water after this game as well. Alright, Zenin Stranger can at the very least do some blocking. And if he attacks and doesn't replay a blocker, we get to spark our Hatchet and take out the Grunt. So that's kind of cool as well. Yeah, we'll block. My opponent has no quick spells, and do they have a replay? Alright, well, good thing we blocked. Argenport Stranger is actually going to stop a lot of attacks here. Probably makes it less likely that our Jawbone Hatchet can get online. But now, if this Grunt attacks, we just double block it. Still just going to double block it. It is still a... Now we actually get a better trade. Now we get a 2-for-1 trade. And now we get both the Heavy Axe and the Grunt for the low cost of 1 Stranger. And then there is a Jito. Alright, so we didn't quite get there with the ability to play a 4-drop on turn 4. But that's not the worst thing in the world. I'm just going to pass turn. Alright, Bright Mist Paladin is a pretty big game. Stonescar Magus will trade with it, but until then, my opponent's going to get to start swinging for 8-point life swings. My opponent's also on 3 mana, so they're not likely to do something too crazy to us just yet, but they will get to perform 11-point life swings. It's going to do us in 3 turns. We need to draw a land for Stonescar Magus soon. There she blows. So yeah, let's go Stonescar Magus first. That's actually going to stop a lot of attacks here, I think. So that pretty much completely nullifies the Bright Mace Paladin. We get a 1-for-1 trade off with this. And we'll take 3, but it's not a huge deal. 3 I can deal with. 3 is A-okay. Now my opponent has like a 5-turn clock or whatever, And I can even spark up the Jawbone Hatchet. I don't think I love that. I think what I'm going to do is smack for 2, and then be content playing a 5-mana 5/5. And now we haven't died to our opponent's initial onslaught, and they are stuck somehow with no cards in hand and no mana. Which means I'm not really that afraid of what's going on here. And the reason for that is they've played so many heavy axes, of course. So I feel like playing Warband Chieftain, just swinging and then potentially taking out Oni Ronin with Jawbone Hatchet main phase 2 could be good. Worst case scenario, we play Direwood Prowler, and I think we do eat the Stranger. Could also just play Library Phoenix. But I think this guy's probably going to wind up trading with Sparkbot here anyways, or trading with both of those. Yeah, okay, so... Okay, so he's going to let me make the choice here. So I can take out both of these guys, leave my opponent with just a 5/5 into my 7/2. Can I do anything where Oblivion Spike then gets turned on? It'll have 3. Yeah. Okay. Right, I have 2 damage left over. So I can smack this and then make this guy big and finish off their 3/3. Yeah, it's definitely the best play there. And then let's play a Shadow Sigil. We have a very fragile 7/2 in play, but Cabal Rogue is just as fragile himself. So that seems somewhat reasonable. This guy's got Overwhelm, which means I would love if he blocked. I think I'm going to play a 5/5 just so that he can't Overwhelm. But he does have an ultimate. No, he's 2 mana off from the ultimate. Alright. Let's clear Jito. Let's swing because we can't block these or we lose our weapon anyways. See if our opponent's willing to take that. Nope, they're willing to take 7 though. And that is just as good. That does give us a spark weapon, but can't really do much with that. I'm just going to play a Prowler and skip the draw 2. I would rather have a 7/2 in play, I think. Even though the 7/2 will trade with like a Stranger or really any other 1 or 2 drop my opponent can play. Except for that one. Alrighty. Pay 6 to give it +2/+2, but that also costs 4. So this is a spell. It's not a fast spell. I think I just extract this, swing out, and be willing to lose my relic weapon. Oh, I get to place this on the top or bottom. Let's go bottom. I have a decent play next turn in Cabal Rogue regardless. So we're offering my opponent a trade with the 7/4 on the 4/2. Yeah, pretty sure they're going to take that at this point. Then we still get to smack them in the face for 4. And then we get to play a 4-mana 2/2, which is looking a little bit unimpressive, but when you get to the late game, it might be good. That's going to make my opponent concede here, and that is game 1 with this mid-range Stonescar deck. We were able to get there against an aggressive Rakano heavy axe build. Heavy on the heavy axes, I would say. I'm going to go grab some water. I'm going to stop the queue actually for a second just so that I don't miss it, but I will be right back. Alrighty, let's get into it. Game 2. Get hype. Alright, that is going to be an immediate redraw, especially on the play. And there we go. We got the double Shadow and then the Stonescar, or Praxis Stranger, rather, to help fix our mana for a turn 3 Rebel Sharpshooter into turn 4 Back Alley Bouncer. So, reasonable curve on the play. No 1-drop. Beetle would have been insane, or whatever that card's called. Alright, we're going to need a lot more fire influence to play that card, but we got some late game too. And we're curving out, which is super important. Alright, strangers are going to trade here. Let's offer that trade. I mean, I'm pretty sure you just snap this trade off every time if you're on my opponent's side of the board. So, like, say I have the only way that you don't is if you have, like, a Morning Star or something, and this is your only creature. But if you're worried that I have a trick, me using a trick to kill a stranger is great value for you. So you definitely want to snap that off every time. Alright, they have an extract for our Sharpshooter. And can we hit a land to continue curving out? We can, and it is a good land in terms of Flame Blast. Hopefully we can extract whatever my opponent plays here. Or if they just Trailblaze, we get to hit him for a fast 4. Down to 24, so we haven't put them down super low, but well, that's good. And we get a... you know what? Savage Stranger is actually a little bit awkward here. But we'll play it. It gives us another Back Alley Bouncer, and we'll just prepare to extract the Rakano Stranger here. But yeah, that is the awkward downside to playing Strangers. I was also thinking we could Direwood Prowler this Stranger as well, but that's definitely not what we're going to want to do. Okay, so they take our Stranger out of here, smash for 3. Interesting. Well, I'm going to smack back for 5, and I'm going to play a Stranger. Don't know why my opponent attacked there, but it's going to let us try to just out-tempo them. So if they didn't attack, I would have had to play Extract before I would have had to play it this turn. It just would have been better tempo for us. That's a pretty good card to Polymorph. My opponent has a lot of Strangers. Maybe that's why they haven't been trading off their Strangers, or they've just been hesitant to. Definitely Thorn Beasting this Frog this turn. Let's see if they'll let me get in with this, though. At the same time, if my opponent's playing a Stranger deck, they're going to want to get my Strangers out of here as soon as possible. I am going to go ahead and gobble this up, even though it would be good to gobble it up with the Prowler as well. That's decent enough value. My opponent has a lot of influence for only having 5 lands out there. They've played nothing but Strangers all game, which is definitely sweet. And definitely something you can do. Looks like they are mostly... Ooh, baby! Okay. Well, that'll explain it. So Flame Blast deals 3 right now. Extract deals 3. That's really interesting. Well, I'm only going to attack with Thorn Beast this turn anyways. So I might as well just attack with it and then see what happens. This does allow them to counterattack. But if they just trade off here, then I feel super secure about our position in the game. I'll just extract this Rakano Stranger. See, now they're like probably super afraid of tricks. That's going to show them that I don't have one. And then I think I'm just going to extract the stranger. I'm going to put this on bottom. We're just short on lands. I keep forgetting that you get to do that with extract. That's really, really cool. The card's already Lightning Helix. I am happy just playing Lightning Helix. 3 damage lifesteal. But they're like, no, you get to scry one as well. Sure thing. Alright, that's going to give them a 7/5, which maybe means we start keeping Thornbeast back to just try to trade off here. Well, I'm definitely going to keep Thornbeast back to try to trade with Merciless Stranger now. Actually, I'm going to Flame Blast Merciless Stranger. What can I do then? I can swing for 9, which will put them down to 5. Which means they're going to have to keep this back and trade with Thornbeast next turn. Alright, this looks good to me. My opponent gets to smack me for 7 here, which is a little bit scary. But now by putting them down to 5, if they don't have a play for their next turn, they're going to have to trade with Thornbeast. They won't just be able to positive battle this back alley bouncer. So I assume that they will have something with 2 more cards in hand here. But they have hit all of their land drops so far this game. Alright, Polymorph's going to be pretty big. That's going to let them... No, they still can't attack, because Polymorph doesn't deal with this. It just turns it into a 1/1. Very funny. Alright, so we'll play Pyro Knight, and now if we hit a sigil of any sort, any type of power, we get to just ultimate, and then they've got to trade here and die. Not to mention the fact that we have a Frog online again for our next Direwood Prowler. Don't think we have any weapons, yeah, and all that we have in the graveyard is Frogs, so we're probably not going to be Smugglers stashing anytime soon. Alright, that can trade here pretty well. This can smack here, and it only overwhelms for 1, right? Yeah, I think I just want to go ahead and draw 2 cards here. Yeah, let's draw 2 cards, see where that gets us. Annihilate isn't good. Creatures are okay. And also just, this puts another 5/5 on the board. So right now, if we activate, we have lethal attacks. This will trample over for 1, overwhelming. Alright, they're going to take this out. Yep, makes sense. If you can cripple to kill a 6/5, that seems like pretty decent value. We could Smuggler stash it back, but it'll still be dead. So this Smuggler stash looks like it can get us a pair of Frogs and a Rebel Sharpshooter or something like that. What just happened there? They just played Jacksknife, dealing 2 to themselves and leaving themselves with only 1 blocker in the face of 2 lethal attackers. Oh, I don't know what they were thinking there. You could play Jacksknife, but definitely don't attack there. That was a super awkward moment by my opponent. I don't think they realized that I could just not block. I think they were hoping that I double blocked and just traded my team away or something, or chump blocked and then hoped to top deck a removal spell for the Torch Wielder. But yeah, either way, that was a really big miscalculation on my opponent's part, and that's going to make us 2-0. Actually, I normally do it like this, right? I use dashes and not slashes. Alright, so this hand has a turn 1 Brash Shorthorn, turn 2 Annihilate, Slendy Wadka. Thank you very much for the follow, my friend. Appreciate it. This hand is good. It's got a turn 1, 2, and 3 play, so we're not going to die early. But I think I'm still going to redraw it. Just making sure we hit the mana. I've just lost too many games in Eternal where you just don't get the mana you need. Opponent has an Echo. That's a little scary. Coming from Captain Cuddles over there. Grenadin Drone can potentially turn on our Hatchet and let us do some stuff. Slendy, I don't know exactly what you're saying, but appreciate it nonetheless. I do not speak Russian. Let's smack with a Grenadin. Keep him one back on defense. I'm not sure if he just drew this Blinkworf or played it for turn. Ooh, unstable form on the Blinkwolf. That's pretty sweet. Gonna give his guy flying. Appreciate that. Jawbone Hatchet can still take that out with a positive battle. And now it's going to be a Silverwing Avenger. Are they going to hold back or are they going to smack for 2? They are going to hold back. So I could trade off one of my Grenadins and then spark the Hatchet. That might be good because we don't know what opportunities we'll have to spark the Hatchet later. That said, I have the opportunity to play a 3-drop here on turn 3. So I'm going to go ahead and just take that opportunity. Next turn, we can Flame Blast for 2 to kill the Silverwing Avenger. We can also just attack with Rebel Sharpshooter, see what happens. We might have to Flame Blast for 2 before we attack, if they have multiple creatures that can block us. Alright, they're going to attack with that. So I think what I can do here now is just attack with 1 Grenadin. That'll trigger Spark because they're not going to want to trade with Pyre Adept. I'm going to keep this other Grenadin back to block the Pyre Adept. And then I'm going to spark this Jawbone Hatchet and take out the Flyer. And I think this will work out pretty well for us. Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to learn some Russian. Slendy Wadka. I assume that's what that is. Something Slavic. The only Russian that I know, and I'll probably butcher this, La Tibia Le Bleu, I think. Maybe you have to put more of rasp in your voice, but I love you. Alright, that's going to let them draw a card. Finally hit their 3rd land. I did not realize that. But we get to take that out with our Jawbone Hatchet or our Flame Burst, whatever we want. And so what's interesting is the Spark is going to stay on this. Yeah. You guys see what I'm getting at here. It's now a 5/5 weapon with Spark +2/+2. That means it's a 7/7 weapon. That's crazy. I did not realize we could do that, and we have Smuggler's Stash to buy it back one more time. I'm hesitant to say, but this game might already be over. We can just play it as a 5/5 weapon if that's going to be good too. We become a 4 weapon. That would let us hang on to Rebel Sharpshooter. Honestly, I'm just going to go like this. A 7/7 weapon is so good. Alright, so that's going to become a 7/3 weapon. Wait a minute. Oh shit, that didn't kill that. Alright, well I fucked that up. But anyways, we made a 7/7 weapon. That was all I needed to see. I was thinking of the old Flame Blast. I got a little bit confused in my head there. I was like, wait a minute, I can kill that and smack him for 7? That's insane. But just smacking him for 7, or not even smacking him for 7, just making a 7/7 weapon was good enough. That is crazy good with Reforge. Holy moly. Reforge has continually impressed me. If you have not drafted with that card yet, it is really good. I have a Reforged Combray draft up on my YouTube channel, which sounds really silly, but go ahead and check that out if you have not already. Reforged Combray wound up being a lot more powerful than I thought it was going to be. I don't even remember what I was reforging that game. but I remember it was good. All right. This hand is a little light on mana. It has two pretty expensive cards. Reforge, which can't do anything. Recogulator, which might buy us some time. A Stranger's good. We really just want to hit our land drops here, though. That's going to be the most important thing. Or, alternatively, if my opponent does not hit their land drops, that might also be pretty good. All right, there is a power for us on turn 3. One more power on turn 4 will let us play Recogulator. Like I said, we're kind of clocking them already, so this is reasonable. Let's throw out some more music as well. All right, looks like we are done attacking here for the foreseeable future. I'm going to hit up my own music playlist that I created here as soon as I can get that to load. All right, Rapid Shot. That's not terrible. And both of our creatures trade off with their guys anyways. Yeah, let's go for it. Alrighty. Easy enough. Trade a Rapid Shot for a 3/3 flyer. I'll take it. And we get to keep attacking with these 2/2s into this 2/2 flyer now. Valkyrie Militant does not make me afraid to attack at all. A 2/3 does, however, make me afraid to attack. So we're done again. Get some music up in here, please. All right. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit awkward, but just playing against an all flyers deck. Just play Back Alley Bouncer, excuse me, as it is our biggest creature, and we can at least attack with it. Wow, that's really, really bad. Alright, I think we attack with everything. It's going to let us Flame Blast the Wind Shaper to finish it off post-combat. At which point we won't be taking lethal next turn. I'm not sure how we win this, though. I think we just don't. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and not block, which means we actually have to Flame Blast here, and they still have lethal. Alrighty. We lose. I blame that loss on me not having any music in the background. So let's grab something here. That'll help, I swear. Let's play some Kendrick. It's going to give me all music videos. There we go. All right, so that makes us 3-1. Flame Blast? I think Flame Blast is only 3 damage. It says +2 on it. So I assume that means it takes 2 out of whatever you play. Or it says 2+. Right? Maybe I just don't understand what it even says. Yeah, it had 5 power, but it says 2+. It's power -1. It says on it 2+, so I assume that meant, but I could have just been wrong. I didn't even look at the screen. Oh, it deals 1 damage itself. Okay, yeah, I didn't read it that carefully then. That would make sense. That's in line with like how the Copper Recruit works. 1 damage plus whatever you spend extra. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I believe you. I just didn't read it. I didn't reread the card. Well, thank you for that, Rivo. Alright, opponent is going to go ahead and gain a life. That's potentially going to let Bladekin Apprentice attack. That's why I played it first. Yeah, Bladekin Apprentice can attack now. It's a weird attack from my opponent. This card just gets harder and harder to deal with. Yeah, they definitely made it a little bit more confusing, but it would help if I also just, you know, read the card. That would also help. So I think my opponent attacked because they already made the decision that they weren't going to block if I attacked into them. What they might not have realized is I would not have attacked just into two dudes. Oh, that's unfortunate, though. That's going to mean it doesn't really matter. They're going to be able to take out our Bladekin Apprentice there anyways. Yeah, I know it used to be how much... I thought that they nerfed it more than they did was the trick, I guess. I think I'm going to play Recogulator and attempt to double block Oasis Seeker here. We're playing for the late game now, but my opponent doesn't have that much going on. If they like use a spell to defeat this double block here, I don't think we're in the worst position still. And I want to get this 4-3 off the board so that I can start attacking. Looks like they do have a spell here. Oh, Purify. That's actually a much bigger deal than I thought it might have been. That's unfortunate. Okay, so it's also silenced for when we Smuggler stash it back. I guess I trade Savage Stranger for this 4-3. Yeah, but if I had just played Savage Stranger, they could have just used a kill spell on this, too. I know it would have been a little bit safer. I wasn't thinking about a silence plus kill spell. I was thinking I would still have two 1/1s here, regardless of the situation. So I thought we were going to be a little bit safer. Now I have the option for trading Jawbone Hatchet into Pyre Adept, but you know what? I can do that next turn, and maybe on the off chance that my opponent lets us spark here, let's try to hang on to the Jawbone Hatchet for one more turn. Yeah, so they attack. They assumed that we were going to block. We're going to say no blocks so that we can spark this hatchet. And again, we're sparking the hatchet so that when we stash it back, it's even stronger. We know we're going to lose the hatchet here to the counterattack from Pyre Adept. But then we get to stash it back and do it again in a subsequent turn here. So Smuggler Stash could return Savage Stranger, Bladekin Apprentice, and our weapon. Alright, well, that is definitely a reason to keep back Praxis Stranger. I'm going to go ahead and play Cabal Rogue here first. Fortunately, we don't have any Grenadins in the bin as well. I would love to just... One of the best cards to grab with Smuggler Stash is just a Grenadin Drone. Alright, I'm assuming... Ooh, that's a pretty good one. Reliquary Raider. I think that's probably going to mean that Cabal Rogue stays back on defense here. And you know what? I think just getting Hatchet, Stranger, and Bladekin Apprentice is good enough value. I don't think I have to get back Cabal Rogue. So let's just go ahead and fire this off here. And again, if we can manage to get this spark, though, that would also be pretty good. And Cabal Rogue is decent at letting us get our spark on. So one play that I could see next turn is just let my opponent hit me for one with Reliquary Raider. It's going to mean that they draw an additional card, but then we Cabal Rogue back for 5, get a 5/5 weapon. Never mind, Cabal Rogue is down. They're going to A-space. Cabal Rogue's going to send... We can take 7. We have an answer for Cabal Rogue next turn in the form of Savage Stranger. Think I'm going to trade... Oh, no, this hits me for 4 anyways, so... Yeah, this is actually just more damage. Let's just trade here. Going to take 7, go down to 4. And our life total is super low. But we can trade off with both of their creatures. And if they don't attack, then we can do some nasty stuff with Bladekin Apprentice. And hopefully do some nasty stuff. Alright, well that's going to be awkward. That means that we're going to have to chump block with Bladekin. It doesn't mean that we're dead next turn, though, still. It means we have to chump block here. We'll have to play Savage Stranger to trade with Reliquary Raider and then use our Hatchet to take out the Pyre Adept. If they play one other card, we're dead. Burnout will do it. Yeah, the 2-2 I forgot was actually a 4-2. Alright, well, looks like that double block cost us a lot that game. I wasn't thinking about Purify. Even with Purify on my mind, I think I'm still tempted to take that block just to get the trick out of their hand because I can't play around it the entire game. That said, definitely did not work out too well for us that game. That's going to put us down to 3-2 here. The main goal is to try to get 2 more wins out of this draft so that we complete our daily quest. Hopefully we can do that. Yeah, no, that's definitely true, Rivo. That is definitely true. I didn't want to just wait around forever and take a whole bunch of damage, but yeah, definitely got punished. I'd have to go back and look. I mean, they didn't have that much mana, right? So in that regard, we were kind of doing okay. This is awkward. Gorgon Swiftblade on the play. I also did not realize that you get access to your premiums in draft as well. That's pretty cool. Potentially just Oblivion Spike this in the late game. They are a Felon deck, so they might have more Infiltrators here for us, too. Alright, finally, a blocker. But we are going to have to take that damage for a little while because we picked Annihilate instead of Execute. Alright. What we don't want to do is give this +2 attack and then just have it get -2/-2 anyways. No, all of my opponent's sigils are premium. Oh, yeah, just the power. That's all I meant. Definitely no blocks on Gorgon ever. We can now Flame Blast it, which is fine value. Oh, we could have Flame Blasted it last turn. Right. That's how Flame Blast works. So if my opponent like triple blocks Warband Chieftain, they can trade with it and then kill off the Stranger as well, at which point we annihilate the Stonescar Magus to keep our Warband Chieftain alive? Actually, it wouldn't keep it alive. It would just give them the choice of which of these two they wanted to kill. Alright, they are going to go for that. I think they might have another trick still with that much mana in their hand, but still get to kill their Stranger for free here. Negate an enemy spell. Alright, so they're going to clear our board. It's going to almost turn Oblivion Spike online, though. Sure. I'll choose this one. And I assume my opponent will make that same choice as me. Alright, so Oblivion Spike is almost online, which that is how I'd like to deal with this Gorgon Swiftblade. And a Reforge on Oblivion Spike is still a really, really strong combo. Soul Collector's gonna die, though. Let's say no blocks, because that'll buff the Soul Collector. Pretty sure I just Oblivion Spike Soul Collector before I do anything else here. Alright, that worked out. I think I'm going to attack for 3. I could trade this into this. I'd much rather just use my Flame Blast. And this has enough health on it, enough armor, that I can afford to lose 2. Alright, they're going to extract me to clear my weapon off. That's fine. Go ahead and reforge that at any time. I also have an extraction now for this, which is pretty good. That would give me with a different beast. It wouldn't give me necessarily a better beast. It would give me a 6-1 instead of a 3-3. I'm not convinced one of those two is actually better, though. So I'm going to reforge here because I think I can spend my mana better next turn playing Extract and Flame Blast. Nothing personal, just a job. I feel you, dog. Alright, yeah, that's pretty good. Just in case, let's do this one first. Oh shit, I'm so bad at understanding Flame Blast. Alright, well, my opponents still can't attack into Thorn Beast for the time being. I mean, it definitely does make a difference, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's more of a side grade and less of one being better than the other. Here I can play Cabal Rogue, or I can finally Flame Blast now that I understand what's going on. I think I like just Cabal Roguing, though. My life total's a little low, but this is a better tempo play. Sure, let's play Cabal Rogue. So we're probably going to take 6 damage here. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take 6. This potentially puts us dead to an array of burn spells, but the fact that they didn't burn us there even makes me feel pretty good. We drew another Smuggler Stash. That's going to be quite fantastic. I think I just go ahead and Flame Blast this here. Attack with Cabal Rogue, leave 1 Thorn Beast back on defense, and then next turn I have Oblivion Spike. Sounds good to me. I don't want to trade Cabal Rogue for one of these Gorgons. And let's fire this off. Hopefully they don't have another Backlash. They do not. They're sitting on no fast spells at this point. So we should be able to clear it up from here. That's pretty good, though. It's going to let them turn on both Gorgon Fanatics. I think it does mean Cabal Rogue is going to stay back and play defense. Never mind Argenport Instigator. Maybe both of them. The Cabal Rogue can trade with Frostkin, which I think I like at this point. Yeah. What I don't want them to do is clear my weapon here before I get max uses out of it. I'm just going to trade Cabal Rogue with Frostkin, take 2 more points of damage, and then use the weapon to finish off the Swiftblade. So if they have a burn spell, they can clear my weapon. Do have to watch my life total, which is pretty awkward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Oh, you know what? I can just ultimate Pyro Knight. Yeah, that's going to be really good. Okay. Yeah. And then with Smuggler's Stash, I can ultimate him again, even. My life total's super low, which is a little bit scary. So if they kill this, then they also just get to take this out for free. My other option would be Chump Block. I think I've got to go like this. Perfect. Each flying unit gets -1/-1. I can't quite attack this. That kills me. But what I can do is Smuggler's Stash and replay Pyro Knight in the same turn. You can still... I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. I'll read that in a second. I think our attacks are free, but I kind of want to double block this, right? Alright, I'm going to go back and get my Pyro Knight. I think I just have to. Oh, it's when he blocks a unit. Oh, I misread him. Alright, I'm going to double block because being able to ultimate this Pyro Knight seems better than my other options. It's going to give me a 6/1 weapon, which means I can trade it off with a low attack creature. Vara is not that creature. Holy moly. Well, I guess I needed to reclaim Oblivion Spike here then. Wait, he's got an ability on him too? Oh, I didn't even read this card. Yikes. Okay. Curious what my opponent does if I ultimate him. If I ultimate him and attack, they can just attack back for lethal, so that's not a great attack. So I guess I'm just playing Warband Chieftain and a 2/1. And I can't do anything else. Vara is insane. Holy moly. Alright, I'm going to try... I think my opponent will trade off Vara for Pyro Knight. I mean, I'm definitely ultimating here. There's nothing else I can do. I think I have to start attacking because Vara's just going to kill me if I just don't win the game. I'm going to attack. It can only trade off with Vara, and I have double chump blocks. Yeah, okay. So we traded with Vara. I think that's the best we can hope for. It's going to give this bonuses and let them gain a life. But the plan is to rampage this. Alright, let's play Rebel Sharpshooter because the trigger onto Rebel Sharpshooter would be good. And maybe he'll just think that's what we're going for. And then we get to Rampage. We're going to put that on Rebel Sharpshooter. Smack for 8. And now we have a lethal Rebel Sharpshooter and a lethal weapon. Lethal weapon. This was a really good game. I still don't know if we've won it, but we did. Holy moly. Whew, I need to take a seat. That was a game. Vara is an insanely difficult card to beat in draft. And you have to make sure you're putting on enough pressure. The fact that you can re-ultimate your cards was super clutch, giving me a 10-9 1-drop. I told you Pyro Knight was powerful when I picked it, but it was a 1-drop that traded with Vara and even dealt a little bit of damage. It didn't deal that much damage because it still left my opponent with like a 9-7 that gained him some life. But yeah, that was crazy close. Whew. Alrighty, a bunch of lands. That's awkward. Let's redraw. Alright, no black or shadow mana, rather, in this hand. But we do have some good turn 1 and turn 2 plays. May fortune smile on us both. Rusisher Czar. Indeed. Alrighty, we're done attacking already. Whew. I had to take a seat after that one. Stormcrasher's good. Can I Flame Blast it already? I forget. Yeah, I can. I probably want to. It's going to stop our Library Phoenix eventually. Opponent's playing Huru 2, which means they're probably just going to suit it up and try to get out of hand with it. Would I have kept this hand if I could have mulled it? It had 3 lands in it or 2 lands in it? I don't think we've drawn any. I think we've only drawn lands, right? Or no, this is turn 3. We've drawn Rapid Shot, Fire Sigil, Fire Sigil. I would have mulled it. Yeah. What are you up to? So, we can play Library Phoenix next turn, which is going to reduce the cost of Flame Blast, which is going to mean that we can Flame Blast 2 turns from now for 4. I don't know. I went back and forth on that one a lot. I don't want to get too risky. Alright. Opponent doesn't have anything super aggressive here. That means we made the right call. The only way where I think we made the wrong call is if they put like some cheap-ish weapon on it. Which I don't even know exactly what I'm looking for in that scenario. We'll play our 4-3 and get ready to Rapid Shot a double block. Cool. Actually, you know what? We can do a pretty sweet bluff here. Just play Library Phoenix first. I read this card right? Oh, at the start of your turn. Fuck that up. No, Windshaper I think would have been fine, because Windshaper I can still kill in 2 turns. I just would have played Phoenix this turn, or Back Alley Bouncer this turn, and then been able to turn on the Phoenix. So I think it still would have been okay. So we could actually give this +3, +0, and flying by casting both of our cards. So that might just happen here. Let's go for it. So the only card that we can't cast next turn is Cabal Rogue, and also... That's all they're going to do. 4 damage to an attacking enemy. That's fine. Let's go... I think I'm just going to Rampage here, and I think I'm going to hang on to Rapid Shot. Trading Rapid Shot for the Eastwind Herald, I don't know, maybe it's good already? We take this out, which means they're less likely to be able to deal with this, but they're also just less likely to be able to deal with this if we hang on to Rapid Shot. So I'm just going to hang on to Rapid Shot. They didn't block exactly how I would have liked there because they had the Lightning Strike. But that's fine. Rapid Shot's also going to be free. Interesting that they did not spark for a free draw. So now I think we just Rapid Shot the Phoenix. That should be good. We don't want to give them the free Grenadin. Let's just attack like this. We can actually now Rapid Shot here. I guess actually if they block like this, we just run it back. I do want to start clocking them though. Yeah, alright. I'm just going to let us attack them for 2 and be okay with that. They know something's up now. They definitely know we have a fast spell, and they're ranked gold, so... They know something's up, but hopefully we can still do them dirty with this Rapid Shot and get a lot more value. Like I said, the only card that we cannot use to continue to make us Hellbent... it's so annoying. This doesn't gain toughness, right? Nope, okay. So we just have a free Rapid Shot. That's also a little bit annoying. Alright, well, board stall time. We've got some good late game. We've seen it. Northwind Herald's pretty nasty. I don't think that they're going to buy into a Rapid Shot here. But, like, if they block here and here, I'd be willing to lose a Grenadin to trade Rapid Shot for Northwind Herald. Just don't know if I see that happening. I think they might block here. They might not block at all. And then they're just going to eat this Grenadin. Let's attack here. I think this attack's free. Okay. I'll take it. I don't know why they made that block, but I'll take it. I think my opponent took us off of the idea of having Rapid Shot because we waited so long to use it. That's the only thing I can really think of here. Alright, I give my Stranger +1 attack. They'll trade off with the Stranger, though. That's fine. And I'll play a 4-3. So 4-3 can trade with 3-2 flyer. That's pretty good for both of us, I think. And then Obsidian Golem just gets blocked by Eastwind Herald. Polymorph on the 4-3. Is that going to mean that this will attack? It does not. Still don't have any good attacks on top of that. And unfortunately, my Flame Blast is already in the graveyard. Just hang on to this Fire Sigil. No reason to run it out there just yet. Talon for some Grenadin cleanup. So if we attack with both, they can eat the Grenadin, but they can already eat the Grenadin. But what if they just eat and trade? Then we play Zenin Stranger, I guess, and make it a 4/4. Or they can block here and here. We just lose our Grenadin for free. Yep, okay. No bueno. Not worth attacking. They take out our Grenadin instead of taking out one of our 2/2s. That seems like a mistake, because it was free to just take out a 2/2 instead. We actually have attacks now, but you know what? That seems a little bit better than attacking. It means that I probably should have played this Fire Sigil earlier. You know what? I think we can attack with this still. They might trade. I think they are going to trade with Zenin Stranger, and then this is just going to be a bounce block here. I think they're just going to block the creatures across from the creatures. That's a really good value then, trading our 2/2 Stranger for their 3/2 Flyer. Definitely happy about that. Let's cash this in for a draw 3. Pretty sick. We draw an Argenport Stranger and a Bladekin Apprentice. Fact that we can put Obsidian Armor on our Bladekin Apprentice is going to be very nasty. Opponent plays a Sigil, passes the turn back. We get to spark our Hatchet as well. Awesome. So we'll have a 4/3 quick draw, a 5/5. My opponent might even just chump block. They're not going to. We get to spark our Hatchet, take out Eastwind Herald, and we can play an Argenport Stranger, but there's no need to play it into Harsh Rule when we already have lethal on the board, baby. So that's going to make us 5-2. We've completed our Tactician quest of winning 5 draft or forge games. But now, you know what? If we can win just a few more games, we might be able to rank up to gold in the draft league with this deck. So that would be pretty sweet. 2 more games here left in this draft event. I'll open up all my packs at the end of the stream like I always do. But now we're just playing for some better prizes here. We've completed our quest. We've done what we have set out to do. And now it's time to take it home. Reforge is like real good. I don't know how much I can stress that. That card has continually impressed me a lot. I don't know if that's constructed viable. I don't know if other players are keen to that hype there. But yeah, definitely impressed with that card. Turn 1 Pyro Knight, perfect mana. If my opponent doesn't have a turn 2 play, we get to spark their Hatchet. I'm assuming that they're not going to have a turn 1 play. Typically, players do not. Yeah, looks like no turn 1 play. We get to smack. If they also don't have a turn 2 play, or if their turn 2 play is a 3/1, I'll take it out. I'll give it a little, let it taste a little bit of Jawbone Hatchet here. Blinkwolf off the top. That's pretty annoying. However, the Overwhelm on Pyro Knight means that we can spark this turn. And sparking when we have a Smuggler Stash is really, really good. It's better with Reforge. I would also love to Smuggler Stash this back, but you know what? We'll be able to anyways. We won't be able to double ultimate it and do the craziness, but I think this is still pretty good tempo. And we're not going to be able to do it next turn. This scenario is only going to get worse and worse for us. Our opponent's definitely going to snap off this block here. That's fine. They're going to take 1 damage, and then they're going to take 3 more damage. I think that's a good play. This weapon's also going to carry us a little bit here. Yeah, we can trade it off for Bright Mace Paladin, and I am perfectly fine with it doing so. My opponent wasn't really even forced into playing Bright Mace Paladin there, so weird that they did a little bit. They could have just played... Can this sacrifice itself? Another unit. Okay. That'd be really interesting if it could sacrifice itself. Not sure if it would be any good, but it would be interesting. I'll play a 3-mana 3/3 right back at him. Looks like they didn't have any other plays, so if they didn't have any other plays, playing a Bright Mace Paladin, pretty reasonable. Summon, get an Aegis. Alright, well, I guess I just play a 6/6 here to threaten their weapon. It's either that or I stash up and then play 2 cards that they can kill. No, let's just play a 5/5. I can always stash this back later. It's definitely a better target than Ravenous Thorn Beast. What did they do? Oh, they're going to snowball it. Nice. Okay. I appreciate that. There's where their snowball came from. And now I can either stash back my monsters. I don't hate that play. I don't mind taking 4 here. And playing Zenin Stranger is just not a good use of our mana. So let's just stash back Pyro Knight, Direwood Prowler, and the Hatchet. And then we'll pass turn. Next turn, the plan is Stonescar, Stranger, Pyro Knight, and then maybe Jawbone Hatchet. But not super sold on Jawbone Hatchet just yet. My opponent plays like a 2/3 creature. Then yeah, I might knock it out, but I don't have to. If I draw Reforge... Okay, so a 3/3 creature. Well, now I can play Cabal Rogue. Could play Pyro Knight and eat it. I could play Pyro Knight and ultimate it. That's pretty good use of our mana, too, and stops all of their attacks. They have an ultimate for a +2/+2. I wouldn't hate trading Pyro Knight for that, either. I also wouldn't hate trading Cabal Rogue for either of these creatures, really. Pyro Knight forces them to ultimate for their next turn. And then on my follow-up turn, hopefully I can just sack Zenin Stranger to Direwood Prowler. You know what, though? Pyro Knight plus ultimate also threatens Spark again. So they actually kind of have to ultimate and hold. Because any other play means that I'm going to get to turn on my Spark, and then I'll have a 3/3 weapon to clear this 4/4. Yeah, I can dig this. Though Cabal Rogue also would have guaranteed my Spark. It actually would have guaranteed it. Maybe Cabal Rogue's better if my plan is to not block here. My life total is still plenty high. Yeah, I'm going to take this bait here. I think I can just block here, and then even if they have a +3/+3, we still knock them out. Sure. So they just have a shock here. Yep, Static Bolt. That's what I mean. I call that card Static Shock. What is Static Shock? Is that a magic card or a comic book hero? Static Shock. Was that like a Disney Channel character? I forget. So that was more mana efficient for them. It's still a little weird. So I don't really want to take 8. But my next turn is just so good if I connect with Cabal Rogue. And we got the Static Bolt out of their hand too, which is good. So as long as they don't have a Temper, we know they don't have another Static Bolt because this was only dealing 2 damage. Yeah, they don't have a Temper or anything. It did look like they were waiting end of turn for quick effects. So I'm a little bit afraid. We're going to go down to 9. We're going to smack them down to 10. Activate our weapon. And then play 2 small creatures here. This also really pressures their life total. 2 more Cabal Rogue hits ends this draft. This gains us back life points, which is why it's also pretty good here. I'm not convinced of which of these two cards I want to kill. I know I'm not killing Granite Acolyte. But do I want to kill the 5/5 or the 4/2? I think the 4/2 is scarier. All right. And then the plan is to chump block and trade with Granite Acolyte and Jotun Grunt, using our weapon to then finish off the last one. Cabal Rogue, smack for 5, put them down to 5, play a 5/5 blocker, and then just try to exist. All right, well, that's still a trade, but they're just cantripping. Just cantripping. Levitate could be deadly at this point in the game. Oh, why did I say it? Why did I say it? All right. But all we have to do is survive one turn. Or win this turn. You don't gain life off Direwood Prowler is the awkward part. But what I'm thinking is just a chump blocker or a trade on each of these guys means that my opponent needs to find a removal spell. Think that means it's not worth attacking with Bladekin Apprentice. Wait, Bladekin Apprentice is lethal if unblocked? Is that right? Yeah, okay. So Bladekin Apprentice is lethal if unblocked. Oh, wait, so is Zenin Stranger. But I don't think I can afford to attack with Zenin Stranger is the difference. All right. I think my opponent won't even block this. It's tough. To go to 3, going to 3 is pretty awkward. Lets us rampage over for 1. So I think that was like a play worth making because it didn't actually risk anything. Mortar is 4 damage. That's going to end our run, though, at 6 and 3. Very close. Almost got to the 7 and 2. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 5 and 2. 5 and 2. So we weren't that close. We wound up going 5 and 2. But I will claim our packs now, and then I will open those up here to end the stream. Zenin Banner, and we got an upgrade on our gold chest. That's like we went 6 and 3. Mortar just taunting us. The card that just finished our run is now the card that we are supposedly happy to see here. Nah, you can go fuck yourself, Mortar. Alrighty, we got 15 packs to open up, though, so that should be fun, too. I'm going to open up the old set packs first here. See what we're working with. Alright. Hair Trigger Stranger, or whatever that card was called. Hair Tie Stranger? I don't remember. I didn't read it. Fearless Nomad. Does Spacebar work? It does not. Okay. Azendel's Gift. That card has done me dirty more than a few times as well. That's a sweet one, though. Lurking Sanguar. It's kind of bothering my eyes, the way that the cards just, like, fly at the screen. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. My eyes are a little bit sensitive, so I understand if I'm alone in that regard. But this motion right here, where the Teriax just comes right at you, that's scary, man. Facing down a hunting Teriax. All right, Vodacon. That's cool. Another card for Voda combo. Get out of here, Vodacon. Stop scaring me. All right, Pouncing Drake, not too exciting. But it is exciting when it rushes at your screen like that. Peacekeeper's Prod. Stun an enemy unit. Oh, that's not bad. Triple green. Makes it not... I think that's still a good card. I would still pick that for sure. I don't think it's constructed viable. But seems good. I didn't even read that card. Don't know what it was. Memory Dredger. Oh, another legendary World Joiner. When it attacks each enemy unit, gets -1/-1, and she gets that much in attack and health. That's pretty cool. Super expensive card, obviously. 9 mana and 6 influence requirements, which isn't as big of a deal once you hit 9 mana. It does kind of limit its playability in 3-player decks, sorry, 3-color decks, potentially, but not that much either. World Joiner, pretty sweet. Another Pouncing Drake, Flying Warp. I guess that's actually a pretty solid card there, that Pouncing Drake. For draft purposes, Strangers have Lifesteal. That's a solid one. And let's finish it off with a Banish. Alright guys, that is going to be it for me for the stream today. Let me just throw this on the screen and then let me redo it because it bugs out every time and I need to troubleshoot that. But thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to hit that follow button to be notified when I go live. Haven't been super consistent with my schedule recently. Just trying to, well, yeah, just haven't been consistent recently, but it's not going to get that better super quick, but in the near future, oh shit, just knocked the headphones right out of my head. In the near future, my schedule should get a little bit more consistent, but the best way to know when I will be live is to just follow me and look for those notifications. You can also hit me up on my YouTube channel where I post my full stream VODs, as well as highlight videos and things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Go feel free to follow me on there. And oh yes, if you are watching on YouTube, you can catch me live at twitch.tv/NoLucksGiven. Play a variety of games, all in the digital card game sort. Magic the Gathering Online, mostly stick to Cube, Modern, Legacy, Vintage. Eternal, mostly draft with a little bit of ranked play. Soulforge, mostly draft. Not really any ranked play at all, but some tournaments for that. Hearthstone, a little bit of everything. I like all the game modes there. Arena, Tavern, Brawl, solo adventures, and ranked. All of those are fun. I've been playing a little bit of Duelist off screen, and I've also been playing a little bit of the Pokemon trading card game off stream, and that's been pretty fun. And their online client, it's a little bit tough to read the cards on their online client, but the game runs pretty smooth and is a decently fun game when you're looking just for a mix-up. It's a different resource system and all that, so there's different things that you have to think about. And yeah, I find that fun. Little bit more of a Soulforge feel to it than Hearthstone, Eternal, and Magic have, which are all kind of a similar game with their own minor differences there. But that is going to be it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to throw a host over onto another Eternal streamer. Let's see who is streaming right now. Try to get somebody who is English speaking as well, because I know that this game has a lot of reach in different languages. Alright, let's throw a host over to Immersed Chimp. That sounds good to me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace.